Um, Houston is a great team, and they play tough. And I think for us, you saw a little bit of a tighter play for us. I think we finally loosened up after we scored that first run in the first game in the sixth inning. And once that happened, we looked more like ourselves. Um, we have, I would say, more than half of our team hasn't played in an American Conference um, game, and so uh, for some reason we made it a little different than just a normal game. But glad to get that under our belt, and get after it and continue to get back to it tomorrow.
You got actually go to your first double or extra inning game of the season, and then you ended on the second pitch. How did that feel, honestly?
Yeah, no. Jada, I went and thanked Jada. I was like, thank you for doing that. It just made it so much easier. Like, we didn't have to think at all, strategy wise. And I think that's something too, when they start to play tight, I even didn't feel myself, because I'm like, well, how do I get them to calm down? And, what do I need to say? And what, maybe I don't say anything. And I felt like I was even in my own head a little bit. And so I just realized, like, they follow me, and I need to calm down too. And so Jada doing that with one swing, big time.
Well, it helps too. We have Aaliyah going 8 innings, giving up the 1 run, and then Gianna coming back with 7 innings and 1 run. And that's going to be pivotal in a 4-game series to have your starters go deep into games and give you quality starts like they both did.
Oh, it sure is. It sure is. I thought they both got stronger as the game went on too. So that I really like to see that. I think they got more swings and misses at the end, and kept them off balance. And so it gives us good momentum going into tomorrow. And they're seeing how that they can feed off of each other too as well. So like you said, for a 4-game series, that's very important.
Well, going back a little bit, in the 7th of the first game, Elise comes just inches away from ending it early. What was your reaction to that moment?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, off bat, I was like, oh, we've got it. We won. And then here comes, the center fielder just flying in, and wow, she made Aspen Howie made an awesome play. That was, you have to respect it and acknowledge it as like, this is going to be fun. Okay. Like, we're going to have to really earn it. And that's awesome. We want those great games. We need to be in those great games. We need to be in those situations so that we can continue to get better as we go along.
Well, Jada, in her debut in conference, she didn't seem too timid there. Obviously, a great doubleheader for her. She hit the walk-off home run and clutch hitting. I mean, going back to the Florida game, she tied the game up with the RBI double. What does that say about her? Here you are in the last 2, winning the game with a walk-off homer after the Florida game and not being fazed by the conference play, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, I loved her, just her maturity and her demeanor, because she did have a little mishap defensively and then base running wise, but to stay calm and not let it affect the rest of her game is huge. And I think that really speaks to the effort she has put in, and the hard work she's put in early outs and things like that. But just to see that maturity, she's essentially still a freshman when it comes to things. And so to see her play like that, I mean, it's exciting, and it's exciting to know that we have an opportunity to have her for 3 more years after that.
Especially in the second game, you got a couple of really huge defensive plays. The one that stood out to me was Denali robbing one of the batters by the right field wall. How do plays like that kind of energize your team?
Yeah, huge. I mean, we just before that, Jada made a play on the run, and then Denali does that. And so I think for G, that was the turning point for G, where she dialed in and got in. They scored some runs for her. Now they're playing defense for her. All right, she's going to do her thing. And that I think was the turning point for us. But, Denali's good for that. I talk about Kira quite a bit out there, but Denali she's right there with Kira. She's a great defensive player. I loved what she did today too, offensively. We got the big hit, and then she just drops a bunt, and catches them off guard. So she comes up big when we need it most.
Big, and then of course your bench. You've always talked about you call them the All-American bench, coming through and getting you wins. You look at game one, Juliana Wilson, you called her number off the bench, ties the game up with the RBI. Katie Birch had a big hit in that sixth inning to set up as far as with the home run. Depth, which is going to be pivotal in a 4-game series all year, came through for you. That bench helped you win those 2 games.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's not easy for, to make those changes. Because Kira Clarkowski has been hitting the ball well, and Justine is just such a tough out, always. But just again with the matchups and seeing like how lefties were doing and whatnot, I really kudos to all of them for trusting in that process and continuing to grind through it, and allowing me to use that strategy in that way.
Last year, you guys had your season cut short just before conference play started. How did it feel to get back out there and play conference again for the first time?
It was awesome. I probably should have, I didn't even say anything to them about it. It was just, like, okay, part 2 of season is coming at you. But I realized, in that first game when it was like, why are we so quiet? And why are we speaking like this? And, it was just like, we were kind of on the defense, and usually I have to tell them like, calm down. So I think that they started to realize, okay, now we're playing our second season. This is big time. We're getting closer to the goal. But again, we just got to keep it simple and do our thing and stay loose and play our game. But it is fun to be back in conference, and our conference has been doing awesome. So I'm excited, to get back out there tomorrow.
So unique, because you take 2 games in normal years, you would say, wow, that's huge, you just won the series. But that's not the case here. With a 4-game series, this is only the beginning, and they're going to be ready to play the next couple of days. So just take us through the approach here the next 2 days.
Yeah, game 3 is going to be has been tough for us in some of the series that we've had. And I don't want to say like we just kind of settled, but we're still trying to figure out how to continue to grind and make adjustments. And so that was my biggest message to the team tonight was just as the pitchers are going to make adjustments, and their defense and their offense is going to make adjustments against us, we need to be able to counteract that. And we need to do the things that we continue to do the things that we did well and worked, but at the same time make adjustments on the things that we did that were kind of out of character for us. The half swings, the check swings, taking pitches that we normally drive, and then pitching wise, just getting behind in counts, scoring a run and then walking somebody, just things like that we need to continue to make those adjustments as we move through season and through the series.
Now 4 straight wins, 2 of them over ranked teams, and you got your 2 first conference wins. Your team's got to be feeling pretty good about itself, right?
They do, yeah. Yeah, I should probably talk to you guys before I talk to the team, because I think I get so caught up in like, okay, next. And so I have to remember that our biggest rule is to celebrate for 60 minutes after a win. So I did remember to tell them that, but then I was like, okay, now this is what we got to do for tomorrow. But again, like you said, they've been playing awesome these last 4 games, and I'm excited to continue to see them do what they do.